In January 2015, the most famous casino brand in the world filed for bankruptcy. Not a small regional casino, not a struggling startup. Caesar's Palace, the name that defined Las Vegas for 5 decades. The hotel where Elvis performed, where Muhammad Ali fought, where the entire mythology of the American casino was built. On the day Caesars filed for Chapter 11, the casinos were still open, the dealers were still dealing, the roulette wheels were still spinning, the slot machines were still running, and players were still losing money, exactly as the math predicted. The house was winning every single day. The company was dying every single day. And the question this creates, how both of those things were true at the same time, is the only question this video needs to answer. Subscribe if you enjoy calm business breakdowns that reveal the hidden numbers behind businesses that look easy from the outside. First, understand that casinos are not one business. They are 3 completely different businesses wearing the same neon sign. A small regional casino costs $2 to $10 million to open. Slot machines, a few tables, local customers. A mid-sized property with a real hotel costs $500 million to over $1 billion. And then there is the Vegas Strip, where the Cosmopolitan opened in 2010 for $3.9 billion, and where a serious resort starts at $2 billion and climbs from there. Same cards, same roulette wheel, 3 completely different businesses around them. The mistake most new owners make is thinking the math of one applies to all 3. Now here is the first thing most people get wrong about casinos. A casino does not want you to lose. Not on your first visit, maybe not even your second. What a casino wants, more than anything else, is for you to win just enough to come back. Because one loss ends the relationship. 100 visits builds the business. This is why every system inside a casino is designed around the same goal. Not to take your money tonight, but to make sure you return tomorrow. Start with the slot machine. When you sit down, the machine does not behave randomly. It is programmed to show near misses. 2 jackpot symbols lined up, the third landing 1 space away, at a far higher rate than pure chance would produce. Your brain registers that as almost winning. Almost winning feels almost the same as winning. It triggers the same region of the brain and generates the same urge to try again. The machine did not malfunction. It performed exactly as designed. Then there is something gambling researchers call a loss disguised as a win. You bet $1. The machine pays back 40 cents. Lights flash, sounds celebrate, the screen fills with motion. Your brain registers a win. You actually lost 60 cents. This happens thousands of times per hour. Players feel like they are winning, while the math quietly moves in the other direction. Then come the free drinks. Not generosity, investment. Alcohol slows your decision to leave and softens your judgment about how much to bet. And then there are the comps. Free rooms, free dinners, free shows. Most people assume these go to the biggest winners. They go to the biggest losers. Comps are calculated on theoretical loss, how much the math says you should have lost. The player who receives the most free rooms is not the one who won the most. It is the one who lost the most and is most likely to return. At the extreme end sit the whales. Dana White, the UFC president, played blackjack at $25,000 per hand, won $2 million one weekend, came back, won another $1.6 million. One casino banned him. Caesars and Bellagio still let him play. Because over time, whales lose far more than they ever win. Spending $500,000 to host one whale for a weekend is rational when the expected theoretical loss is $10 million. The casino is not rewarding the customer. It is buying another visit. And then look at the building itself. No windows, no clocks. The carpet patterns push the eye toward the slot machines. The path from any table to the exit passes 10 more rows of machines. Engineered immersion. Every design decision exists to answer the same question. How do we keep this person inside 5 minutes longer? Because 5 minutes longer means 5 minutes more for the math to work. And this is where Promise 1 connects to Promise 2. The psychology is not the weapon. The psychology is the delivery system. The weapon is what happens once you decide to stay. The weapon is pure mathematics. To earn $1 billion a year from blackjack alone, a casino needs $200 billion in bets passing through its tables. 200 billion, roughly the entire annual GDP of New Zealand, moving through one building. This is why a 0.1% change in the house edge costs a casino $200 million in a single year. The margin is precise, the rules protected, and the rules are built into the game before a single card is dealt. In blackjack, the player always goes first. If the player goes over 21, they lose immediately, before the dealer even plays. If both go over 21 in the same round, the player still loses. That one rule quietly transfers an enormous advantage to the house on every single hand, forever. Then there is a change most players never saw coming. A blackjack used to pay 3 chips for every 2 the player bet. Many casinos quietly changed that to 6 for 5. 6 to 5 sounds almost the same as 3 to 2. It is not. That single change, 2 numbers on a felt, has cost players billions across the industry, while most players never noticed. And here is what breaks most people's thinking completely. The cheapest machine on the floor is often the most profitable customer in the building. Penny slots run a house edge far higher than high-limit blackjack. The millionaire at the high-limit table faces just 0.5% edge. A small stakes slot player gives the casino far more per dollar wagered. The casino is not chasing the richest customer. It is chasing the customer who keeps playing. One group found a legal way to fight back: card counting. Not illegal. A group called the Church Team beat casinos for millions using nothing but memory. Casinos responded by shuffling earlier and watching for bet jumps. Card counting is a cost of doing business, not a crisis. So now we have both halves of the system. Psychology keeps you inside. Mathematics takes your money. Together, they create the most reliable revenue mechanism in any legal business on earth. A bakery cannot tell you how many croissants it will sell tomorrow. A casino can tell you within a few percent exactly how much its floor will hold this year. The top line is that predictable, that guaranteed. And this is where most people stop thinking. They see a guaranteed top line and assume a guaranteed business. But there is a third layer nobody talks about, and it is where everything falls apart. Now here is what most people never calculate. Running this machine is expensive in ways no other business faces. Out of every dollar a casino earns, roughly 70 to 80 cents are gone before the owner sees anything. A third disappears into payroll alone. A strip resort employs 3,000 to 8,000 people. Then come costs that exist only because this is a casino. More cameras per square meter than most prisons, with a dedicated surveillance department working around the clock. Every deck of cards replaced every 4 to 8 hours. Millions of brand new decks thrown away every year. The Bellagio keeps over $150 million in physical cash inside the building at all times. Insurance and security for that cash alone costs millions annually. Drunk gamblers, the ones the casino deliberately kept drinking, fall, fight, and sue. Casinos get sued more often than doctors. Then taxes. Nevada, 6.75%. Macau, 40%. Pennsylvania, over 50% on slots. Same house edge. Completely different businesses depending on which government owns the land. After everything, a well-run strip resort keeps 25 to 33 cents of every dollar earned. On $1 billion in revenue, $250 to $330 million. Against a $3 to $4 billion building, payback takes 10 to 15 years. Add $200 million a year in debt interest. Payback becomes 20 years. And now the picture becomes clear. The casino built the most reliable revenue system in the world to protect itself from the player. It forgot to protect itself from itself. The edge wins at the table. It does not win against rent. It does not win against a bad lease. It does not win against 20 years of debt that the floor cannot service. The same ambition that builds the perfect casino can destroy the company around it. The edge is guaranteed. Everything built on top of it is not. And this is not one story. This is a pattern. In 2006, Atlantic City had 12 operating casinos, every table running, every slot spinning. By 2016, 5 had closed. Showboat, Atlantic Club, Trump Plaza, Trump Taj Mahal, Revel. All had profitable tables when they shut their doors. Trump Taj Mahal opened in 1990, financed with $675 million in junk bonds at 14% interest. Just to service that debt, the casino needed to generate nearly $100 million a year before any other expense. It missed its first bond payment 6 months after opening. By 1991, it was bankrupt, while the tables were still running. The casino won every day. The debt won the business. That is the pattern. Mistake 1. The debt kills what the math built. In 2008, Apollo Global Management and TPG Capital saw Caesars as the perfect acquisition, a guaranteed revenue machine that would service any debt. They bought it for $27.8 billion. $6 billion cash, $22 billion in debt. The casinos kept earning. The interest kept compounding. The 2008 crisis arrived within months. Consumer spending fell. The debt did not. By January 2015, Caesars filed for Chapter 11, buried under $18 billion in obligations while its casino floors were still profitable. The psychology was working. The mathematics were working. The debt did not care about either. Mistake 2. The building exists before the customer does. Developer Jeffrey Soffer began planning a $2.8 billion resort on the north end of the Vegas Strip, the Fontainebleau. Construction began February 2007. By early 2009, the tower was 70% complete, 4 months from opening. Then, Bank of America refused the final $800 million in construction loans. In June 2009, the Fontainebleau filed for Chapter 11. Carl Icahn bought it, 60 floors, nearly finished, never opened, for $150 million. A $2.8 billion building, $150 million. A casino that never opens has no psychology to deploy, no edge to protect, no customers to bring back. Only steel, glass, debt, and silence. Caesars emerged from bankruptcy in October 2017. The math survived intact. Jeffrey Soffer spent years fighting to reclaim what he had lost. In December 2023, 14 years later, the Fontainebleau Las Vegas finally opened. Total cost by opening day, $3.7 billion. And then there is Sheldon Adelson. He started buying casinos in 1988. No chasing the biggest building, no debt that outran the math, no ambition that moved faster than the floor could support. By the time he died in 2021, he was worth $35 billion. Las Vegas Sands generated $32 million in revenue every single day, more than the entire annual revenue of most American casinos combined. 2 men, same industry, same games, same house edge. Soffer lost everything and rebuilt over 14 years. Adelson never lost control. The casino was identical. The discipline around it was not. This is the complete picture. The casino lets you win small, so you stay. While you stay, the math takes your money. And the same relentless system that makes the casino unbeatable for the player requires so much capital to build and run that it can destroy the owner if the structure around it is wrong. The edge is guaranteed. Everything built on top of it is not. And that is why casinos always win, but still go bankrupt. Now here is the question most people never ask. There is a casino in Colorado. It cost $5 million to open. No hotel, no whale strategy, no strip address. It runs a consistent 20% net profit, while major strip resorts average 8 to 10%. The owner has never been to Las Vegas. What does this operator understand that billion-dollar resorts do not? That is exactly what the next video is about. Because the math is the easy part. The business built around it is where the real story begins.